police home.
Pa.
If you see a police in I tell you say a crime in film will was said and cry Jam Winslow. Now we are there and we still we are. Ah police. You say how can be and I cry and I can move up better me. Now the police in my family national and today city Kurumka. And within 15 minutes can have insurance, a job at home. 15 minutes. Opa, police no amra. Tell me what happened. I am calling my organizers. 15 minutes. One my family go police station. One day you receive them. Yeah. God, you small boys how? You small boys how? A crowd film go wa. You do not know one. Means who take.
Now we are being chased with stones. They are approaching us. The police are also moving away from the danger zone. Quite surprising. They are unable to calm situations. Total chaos at Old Fadama. Even residents here are also running. It's getting serious by the minute. This is very bad. Police vehicles are being attacked. Police officers are being attacked. Citizens are being attacked. And we, the media, are also under attack. We are now running for our dear lives. Oh my word. This can't be happening in the 21st century. Director of Public Relations at the Ghana Police Service is here to talk to us. We are running for our lives, aren't we?
No.
We are running for our lives.
No, we are not running for our lives.
But we are running for our lives. They are pelting us with stones. And you are running as well.
I'm not running. I'm going to my car.
Yeah, but at least you are escaping from danger.
I'm not escaping from danger.
The situation is out of control, wouldn't you agree?
The police are in charge.
How in charge are they? But clearly, we are all running for our lives.
We are in charge.
But we are all running for our lives. How can you be in charge when we are running for our lives?
I mean, you as a civilian have to run for your life.
To pretend that Safe Asata running for his life. He just joined a police vehicle and he's gone. Now we journalists and some civilians here are running for our dear lives.
The police station baby na idea Megusa DC ne MPC idea police station na Bakroma no ye be chi nipa bi amamrantie bi abomu dom percent police for be me sa na ye wa no ma chi nipa to police station the police for no ko ho ana amrantie no ko akoyi police ni no anam ko yi omo suspect dem no na agi police for them ana em say enra kra enra BBC wo race course eye krofo akọ a mo de mo pe fans as wo sisi dan police for go stop mo no mo start to ebo police no ye na ebo mo ban police no ye na ebo property ho ban na say ye ti bi mo ye ho ban a na efa so be na wo yeso obi a be wadwene say police station ya chi di pa ho o de o pe police station wa ko yi di pa no a me fa wo say be di Kumasi police na ba be gu kroma ya ye no 1 to 1 boot to boot mo say mo na mo suma aye mo asuma ma ye niema ye mfa nye adwuma niema na ye be yusu na no make us na make man ka ase for nko make am obia o te ga na say emre na crofo take police station no e te say twam police force a mo be ye adwuma wa ha no e te say mo ye adwuma no ma animonyam ba police adwuma mu enye say krokitu yi mo ba jeje bribe mo ba ha na o the police ba twetwe bribe heart o police ni ba ha o che o ba jeje the crofo guys o mo ni be bro so enti se police ni so ye obi abone a o ma ya so nti na obi afa emra no e hyenisem
BSFM 104.3 good to me talking.
Venerable Central Regional Minister Kwame Duncan, Memoacha na peyo.
Eja, Chairman General.
Apum.
Neminatum, and a prayer son, yes, sir.
That's right. Igwefo?
Yeah, what's up? What's up? Today, over you.
Kwame Abonfe Jamesy.
One Chairman General Kwame Sefakai.
Boko there.
Ye what the main kwacha me.
So then commanding morning class prefect Amedema.
Me abi ura ai class mu. Nti enra nwumre na se me siesie me huye.
Akwa banso.
Yenya.
Yeah, that's say yes sound about Wednesday morning. One puputi.
Oh, Kwame, say nyame adom ne wadama. Menim say obe protect me.
Don't worry, Wednesday for me cool. Me cool. Nyama ye bidi hun command pay me assure say sheet in the COVID-19 and election 2020. 1. Cooked figures or subjective number of recoveries to strict proof. And here 1. NDC accuses ECNI of conniving to rig elections for MPP. MPP hits back and says our records will win us polls. Electoral Commission NIA dismisses NDC's allegations. And their main issues: AOB, salary arrears, brouhaha. Forum of former MPs demand payment for 29.7 million salary arrears. Chief of Staff requests AG to conduct audit verification. AG declines audit verification for quote-unquote invalid request. By entry COVID-19 no has some answer. Monday morning class prefect, my minu fears here, but answer no. Plant maintenance work, ECG Simin Fan Tuja. Say, on scheduled maintenance, you may be Ochinaya Wada, the 21st of May from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. It is out to be Baby Bubodi or China, Fitian upon don't do, copy when you may know, you be do Mokania, baby, you be do Canania, Ashali Boche, Hacho Echo Mog, Tayman, and Atomic. ECG see your hobby at Baby Biano, Monfanche. Come now, ECG.
Chairman General, Medasi.
Medasi, so.
Me pacho na me she me nsem yase no mesre se anka me kan bibi kakra ansa na ma hyase de di kan no
me too
we are say aye timu yi baby bia bi wo ha ye frɛ no eye Santa Barbara.
California.
That's right. Na oko wa omo street bia ya tuni din was Spanish kasa mu nti me kana omo mote Spanish no man hu ka omo fa ncheme ye body no Sasi Puedes na si che nyina ne say leave if you can. One more city planners was Habia no. Na one who say a one mono so tata ho marched area. And no munim say, oh, I want my sitan a bedding. It is unia hoarding any or pa out be person obey ye ama was sitting a year and co. Chamanjera me Kansasemi Edia so say. Nipa pi atwe wo mo ho afri yamanyo semu anasa wo mo fo mo ho enye amanyo semu tietia afri se wo mo mpese wo mo de wo ho bejim kese na memfie kakra madi ewo amanyo semu kwame both within my party and across the political space kwanya ye fa so de ye amanyo ewo mamu han mo no I can understand from experiential learning why a lot of people stay away from our politics.
The
intrigues are too many.
Too many more.
The dishonesty is just amazing. The inconsistencies, the hypocrisy, Kwame, the deception, all founded on a deceptive constitutional document under this fourth Republican dispensation. But that is another matter.
For another day.
Chairman General. COVID-19 and 20 election 2020. July 6, 1967. America Nibia in the show your friend the Merv Griffin show. Martin Luther King Jr. APA so in a live interview or Kansembi or say a wrong analysis of the situation will always lead to wrong conclusions. And decisions therefrom will be problematic. Yempel, Chairman General.
Yes,
COVID-19 has come to stay. It is with us in this world. Abeka ho. Yempel. Enti, say ye COVID-19 be excuse. Say regional minister onye na adwuma as regional minister biom ana onye ne te say the necessary ye ne da. Ana say Kwame Sefa kan Kokrokoo anko onye wadwuma biom te say the COVID-19 abantina o pese uja ye no minni ni say excuse no ebe ye sustainable if is a make I say o talk show yi Kokrokoo yi
yeah
entempa na pandemic ishase no or suspended discussions.
Yep.
For a while. Not just Monday. And I said Tuesday.
The
entire period. For a period. A shaking, I was so yassi. The entire world was shaking. Obian one man the economy and cano. Obian one man the health system and cano. Obian one man the social system and cano. Now, Chairman General.
Come on.
Am I binum a sia bibi free mu? Am I binum a sia bibi papa bia free mu? Ghana mai ye to anamobi me feel say ye boy ho modern ye sua bi papa bi free sade mu a oman yi beko nanim asense de sitie tamajena
kora
ye pro ye mpo ya nkasa ya mamra ye de akekere ho se ene na emo ye ho ban no 2020 ye beto aba na abana ye beto no ya nto a ewo nsunsanso ye to soso a ewo nsunsanso tamajena media kakra mate any de mahu ni de makenkan no say ye pe na ye boy ho modern say ye nto aba eka any de ba beto ye so no it cannot match say ye beto aba no matter what the cost meaning what masia the cost of not having election 2020 will far
be greater than
having an election no matter what the challenges may be. And of course, there will always be challenges. Nano nana me de baso abe kase. General.
Yes, correct.
Ote hu de koso na me yi document aja na me dom wode me ba Wednesday me ba na chese. Me say me uncle me have senior coverage. Bombay na be share dinner say me prepare some reference documents me na me ba my pija so a press a debate. Tabajana, what is happening today in relations to electoral commission? Jill Mensa, any Asari Bossman, particularly any isolate your mubo mudipa, as if say the 7-member commission can be reduced to these 2. We read from Samuel Tete, our can't the 3 executive heads no there. I thought I money didn't kasi because he has been in the commission all these years while holding key positions including director of elections in 2016 any their account. Now the Ekosune Chairman General what him say anya for cry
etesi
and you say etesi this has been a recurrent thing. This has been the friend saying this has been the norm. Because Dr. Kojo Afarijan etna commission no friend saying titrani dibrano yenti yentanka what happened to him amanyoko mienu and I'm sorry Kwame it's very convenient and easy not to do what I'm going to do, but I'm sorry when you are convinced of what you are convinced about. You are unafraid of the daily reminders of your dirty past or the insults or abuses. You stay focused. Friends, even family members were angry with this position when I took it in 2016. Kwame, I remain unperturbed. I will maintain the position.
Which is?
Insist on the right things to be done and to follow the constitution and our own accepted rules and regulations. Until, if we are convinced they are wrong, they are changed. Ya nsesa ya mamrana, ana ya shesha ya didi jumana. Me nim di enti asesa me twi me hu free ho. Enti I disagree with a number of things. But since it is the law, that is what we must follow. Ya to me pikin chusu say ne mene kwamna dankans be agree on say phone yi ya man na ha. Ochina say kokuba ba me say the phone must move to this place. It's not principled. And your principle, no. Especially Sauma basis. Tawandana. NDC insisting on the biometric register as we presently have it. And you knew that has been their position from time immemorial. From the very beginning, our agitations about changing or compiling a new register came up. MPP4, our position said, new register, and change here. Almost also from 2016, almost agitation on it. It has been this consistent. I mean, what is inconsistent about the two of them? And consistent with position I move in adopt to. What the Constitution says about the mandate of the Electoral Commission. So why na ye ni to me? Why na na ho den? Why na sha nsa? Say ye be say ye register on obedi animu. And now MPP4 have taken the position that it is a mandate of the commission. The never can you know bottom line a commission in the in now 2016 and yet the position and no mukuta. It drifted even to the extent say in the appointment of Charlotte Osei as chairperson of the commission to replace Afarijan. People question the application of Article 72. Obakai Obi the Supreme Court. Emma Supreme Court can say the na free Mr. Rollins in pencil, President Kufobe, President Atamis ye. Sa kwaina na jomama President Mama Efaso no na esese ofaso. And na NDC for them. Now almost say a commission to me say or yet the person no. All of a sudden they are saying say commission no ne your friend say na who dey any to me say or dey sadia no. Em say I as I say your question sadia no. Me kutakrata bi o dated 18th August 2015. Kwame. National Democratic Congress statement on MPP claims on voters register. The important watch they hear me pa the trust on say one more insist say electoral commission and you more duma you more holding say one more day on beka say you say you register na say you any say you register.
That was the NDC's position.
Yes. Now what is interesting and say the echo bay nyina ensempo a echo so no yen tanka the real reason and I say one more yes had yen pan one more tanka. It is simple. Mami Jim Manson.
Yeah.
It's believed, say. What? Yeah. In fact, NDC for belief. Let me say it. They are not saying it. They are not bold enough to say it. They may insinuate, but they don't say it direct as the main reason. All the agitations about the fact, say, Omujidi said, Jim Manson was brought in to rig elections for President Akufo-Addo.
That's on your market, there.
Chairman General. And only the basis, the foundation. Now you sue because you can't prove it. 2016, all the MPP for year, no new register, no elections. To the extent that the sitting vice president called the register fraudulently, incurably fraud. I mean that's the word. Incurably fraud register. That time I won. Say it is likely with that register unchanged, the MPP could win elections. Now, Vice President Baumia, that time candidate Baumia, should be ready to tell how he will describe himself as a product of an incurably flawed register.
It doesn't make him illegitimate.
I didn't say that. I've not said that.
But what
my point is that if you call a system incurably flawed, and that system is used to produce you, how will you, I'm talking about logic here, how will you describe yourself? The product of an incurably flawed register.
Flawed.
So you are the product of a flawed register. What are you? That's my point. But that's not the debate here. Kwame, I'm referring this to this to show say, now, internationally renowned physicist Stephen Hawking said the history of humankind has shown said we don't appear to learn from history. And a similar thing is being done. But Kwame, what has the Electoral Commission done from there 2014?
Back to my subtopics. What has the Electoral Commission done? Cooked figures or subjecting numbers of recoveries to strict proof. NDC accuses ECNI of conniving to rig elections for NPP. NPP hits back and says our records will win as polls. ECNI dismisses NDC's allegations. Kabila to us.
Electoral Commission. Me one krata me answer me sakaye. From 2012 the first time biometric register. And Thomas General, maybe let me introduce this caveat.
Sorry.
From 92. Register, election register comparative analysis. None can compare in terms of credibility to the 2012 register, which got updated in between 2012, 2016, and 2016 itself, 2018 and 2019. Because the first time, say me Kwabena Bonfe Junior, meko na makofa Abdul Malik din e dia register. Na metimi di sa din na enye mi din no ebekwa kwato aba no etwamu. Multiple registration. Even though some did it, there was an avenue through technology. I friend deduplication. And no crime meaning is perfect. But which election post-election reports are abba. Say, Ebia Kwamna Duncan sibet mi akwakoto aba mprenu so.
Pacho ni di na esin to aso.
Kwamna Duncan.
Thank you.
Kwam so him say base bi wo osu.
Minim Duncan sapa.
I don't know old timers no. Pacho minister.
No problem.
Kwamna Duncan. Say onon kwa betimi di ni din akwakoto aba bro pre baako. At least Sadino a chum. And when we say there are challenges, there are issues, no? They are improving power in terms of enhancing transparency. Now, technology is not foolproof. Technology and not foolproof. In fact, I've been for more say you can fear the accountant, you can fear the banker, but fear the technician. Because obetime manipulate system no in a way one way ya unhuda but net the results or no peno ebeba any results as sen keba. There are challenges and nothing that be best practice as I say checks no. Now with him from 2012 a biometric system yi enya yan kasa ena ye yakofa company na efi so omo onim de a friend STL for no kwame omo na manage aye bibia on the biometric system, biometric voter management system, not just the register. In fact, the register is a product of that system. Now, that system, no, one money electoral commission, me will letters for hand correspondence between EC and STL. Say about transfer capacity to the extent, say, from 2014, one and a chair of the commission, Dr. Koja Farida.
From 2014.
2014 years. Writing to the commission. Mami Charlotte Osebaye. Now we are Jimenez Abaye, a reminder was sent. The point is that the EC hasn't even got the capacity to manage the system. Electoral Commission need STL4 on contract no awu. Now answer nebewu no. STL4 a trauma Electoral Commission Chairman General. I'm almost say Sabi. Sabi we mean come to Sabi because as him through machines now system now omo do ye adwuma no. Challenge na ago system no friend say enya dia ebetimi ye adwuma biom. Enti omo hwa na omo sesa. So changing the biometric voter management system, not the register. And I'll explain how the register is a consequential change to that. Would have happened anyways if Jim Mensah and Boss Masari had not become the chairs. Because Mami Charlotte Osemo time no, there had been discussions around the need for a change. Company almost supply and almost manufacture and feed na yedi adwuma no. Ye from HSB. Almost drop bread.
Let's go back and focus. Why? Meaning baby only nam kakra.
Okay.
Mpacho, fatemi.
Yep.
But let's look at until I'm sure that kind of subtopics nibium no.
Okay.
NDC accuses ECNI of conniving to rig elections. NPP hits back. ECNI dismisses NDC's allegations, and then Cook figures it's the issue because you maybe just saying to the crack saying yen new register, maybe new register. Then let's come back and focus on these ones. Why, Mr. Kwabra?
Me want to talk and say Electoral Commission a krata ma political parties in dated 23rd December 2019.
23rd December 2019.
Yes. I omo compile report where I say ehu hia say you change voter management system no.
Okay.
Now we change voter management system now. Dole obey new biometric voter register.
So as at 23rd December 2019.
Yes, but before this, there was an IPAC meeting on the 27th of March. Me man Kobe.
Okay.
Me minutes no ha. Electoral Commission was asked by our LPG that I know Danlati Party nipa John Ameka.
UGCC. I use
GCPP.
GCPP. Sorry.
He asked a letter called UFP. Obusa Electoral Commission man answer said they intend to have a new compile a new register
from 27th March last year.
Yes, no 2019. But Kwame, before that, I have parliamentary Hansard of 17th December 2018 report of the Special Budget Committee. And minority leader Tiso, majority leader Tiso, speaker any clerk ni one account. The Electoral Commission made it clear to the commission, to Parliament. Say one person will compile a new register, and they are the for.
Okay.
Now, reasons some of the man, media, me mete, ne kakra masua for technology, hono. Kwame, it makes sense. Yenya challenges with 2018 limited registration. Yenya challenges with 2019 limited registration as a result of the weakness of the system. Anti system no problem no. Biometric data no. I don't think, as I've argued, there's a problem with it. But it is traveling on a faulty system. So you have challenges. To the extent, sir, I yet obsolete ama elembele. There were missing names of about 46,000 which were complained by the MP.
Ama Kofi.
Yes, he wrote to the commission. They have to manually go and extract data from the system. Kwame, why the system was not promptly and properly updated from 2012, no, you can't blame it on G Mensa. Me papa Aferidan who bedim. Charlotte say who bedim. Of course, G Mensa will take their part. Nobody's entirely blamable and nobody's entirely blameless. And now no. Yeah, we have to make inputs. Kwame, the issue is this. Time the Electoral Commission be taking steps or build a consensus with the political parties, including even forming committees. But having said that, it is not correct to say that at every decision of the EC, they involve political parties. In the drafting of the CI 71, the first biometric inspired law for the registration, and CI 75 for the elections, political parties were involved. There was a legal committee, and let me say this, I've heard my name running around. I have never been part of the legal committee. In 2012, I was part of the technical committee, which was chaired by Mr. Kanga, David Kanga. The legal committee was chaired by Mr. Safu Kantanka.
Okay.
2016, there was an amendment based on the Abu Ramadan case of the CI 72. And EC didn't form a committee. All they did, and I have copies here, documents are not qualification to the register. No, it included NHIS card. Because of the Abu Ramadan Evans Nimaku case, and Kwame, I'm emphasizing on Evans Nimaku. Yeah, political parties we participated in drafting the CI that put NHIS cards there as a requirement. But it was political party people who went to the Supreme Court to say they free. Yeah, free no. Anna omo ye CI a years had no edi free man be CI 91. One more edge amend this one was without a committee at the IPAC level. But when they were changing the CI 75 to become CI 94 no. One more small committee bi anamame George Nopokwa Mankwane da no. Omo invite from the CPP Brighter Kwete, MPP, OB Amwa, NDC Hudiaya, Simtim Tobiga, Tuguba, or is it Tobiga?
Something Tobiga.
Yes. from the PNC. Emma, one echo comment. But when it comes to the drafting of the CI now, 84 na ya omo yedema a friend saying electoral commission for Kwame. The point I'm making is that EC, as recent as your last IPAC meeting in March during the lockdown, your IPAC meeting, Mahu said no so won sama bibraba. Omo katre preparations are now omo ye. Any trimpo anomo pese womo de ye registration no for. Ne amendment anomo de pese omo de ba CI 91 no mu. Se omo yi documents are your qualification in Amanaka, NIA, any passport on Kwan. A woman dada. Tanja, you're moving on a chair, and I know I be a debate to electoral commission for. You have solid grounds to having procured a new biometric voter management system, no, to compile a new register as a consequence. But Chairman CI 91 is solid enough to allow you to do that. Se me manya wo ma dika complain you know as miensa ama afeli nti o ma ko the fourth time menya wo ma CI 91 no enti se de tina every say to replace driver's license as a proof of your friends your Ghanaian citizenship or a former and I say old ID, voter ID. Wait, sir, me kwabna bon fe me kwa metime agina ho no ID akagina sorry, ID adanse ama nipa edu. When you cannot guarantee say mitrimu metime akase obi ye Ghana ni abra wonye Ghana ni no. Me fi say eno no emu aden kakra say ye besom. Enti me dia adesrede ayo mutumi na omo exercise. Menyaya enka won be go through process no without amending CI 91.
Okay.
And then I want to conclude on this, Kwame.
Conclude now.
Amanyo samo ye no. Yeah, amanyo for no yen kan unu say ye hu ye Ghana for do na hi. Especially Subanya wonu ma anya kwan abatumi mu NDC ni MPP mu under this fourth republic o mo den adi no. Ama ye hu ye nkrofo pii ahi. If you say e kamya koye say ene ye kutatumi a ye kasa nko ye ni tumi a ye kasa nko ye try ye bo modern say ye de no kra any periperi obe ye adwuma ebe boy nyina medase
Kwabna medase ansana kwamna Duncan bebem no Abdul Malik Kweku bakwa Kweku machi akwaba boko there
awalanyi amanfo se yenwe
kwamna Duncan's favorite line. Before Kwamna Duncan Bebemino, well, this is a very sad one. I've got to put it out. It says, the widow, the son, family, and friends regret to announce the passing away of their very beloved Duke Kweku Kole Aikpa on the 7th of May 2020. There will be a private burial. The widow, the son, the family, and friends regret to announce the passing away of their beloved Duke Kweku Kole Aikpa on the 7th of May 2020. There will be a private burial. Date for the funeral will be communicated in due course. May he rest in peace. 28 minutes from now, it will be 9. Well, it will be 10 actually. Chairman General, good morning. I don't understand why the NDC is against the new voter register, but if they like it or not, it will come off. Lampard Amanfrom in Kumasi. Martin Ejuso Domiabra says the decision to compile or not to compile the register resides with the EC as per the mandate given them. Nana Ajinentri in Wenchi says, should we boycott election 2020 because of COVID? If no, what is the difference between queuing to vote and queuing to register? Article 45 and 6 needs serious amendment for someone's interest. Which electoral register does the NDC expect EC to use at the newly created regions? The NDC can decide to boycott the voter registration, but trying to dictate and dent the EC's hard-earned reputation will not see the light of day. Eric Hakuna Matata in Kofodia. COVID-19 has come to stay with us, so it is imperative we find genuine ways to slip back into our normal lives, taking into consideration COVID-19 safety protocols. I urge the EC to stay focused and deliver to us a competent electoral process. Farouk in Tema. The Electoral Commission must not stoop low to any political party's onslaught to rescind its decision in compiling a new register devoid of infiltrations. No political party holds the armor of superiority to determine our political process. Kabiesi in second D. The NDC probably should tell us how an election is rigged, because they are the ones saying the Electoral Commission is going to rig. They should tell us how it is rigged. Kenneth Mahama, Kenneth in Kumasi. Okay, write something about Mahama. I think that I'll just leave it there. The president says the battle is the Lord's. By the grace of God, we'll overcome COVID-19. Let's allow EC to work since election is won at the polling station. Square J in Atebubu. JC Boakon in Mamprobi says on May 8th this year, when COVID cases saw a jump, ex-President Mahama and his aides said government is failing and made claims that COVID-19 cases up by 1,000 in days. Where's the science in all of this? On May 15th, the number of recoveries saw a huge jump. The same people expressed unhappiness. On 28th April, Turkey recorded 5,000 recoveries in 24 hours. Those who are against recoveries should get serious. JC Boakum in Mamprobe. Without a shred of doubt, it is that the compilation of a new register is necessary. No amount of intimidation should prevent it. The EC should be resolute and proceed. Kweku Debra Jr. Atonsu Agoji. A new voters register compilation is non-negotiable. It's not by force. Those who are not ready may boycott, said Obama in Pokwase. The NDC's consistent resistance to EC's compilation of the register will have some mysteries that we don't know about. Walanyo in Akwatia. This one says, please inform my brother and cosmate Kabila that I enjoyed this intro to the topic this morning. Abnori Ben, UCC. Okay, Kabila and UCC are like Siamese twins. He's been in and out of that place several times. What is the NDC's beef in the compilation of a more credible register for this year? Obama once advised Ghanaians to allow institutions to work. Today, NDC is on rampage, kicking against EC and NIA, blaming them and accusing them of a conspiracy to rig the elections for the MPP. We can't wait to register. Manfo Sam in Takrade. Nana Hesiodri says 70 to 80% of the old voter ID cards were acquired with NHIS cards. According to the Supreme Court in the Abu Ramadan and Evans Amwaku versus EC, the court ruled that NHIS cards are not a primary requirement for EC voter ID card. The court asked for the EC to do a cleanup. I doubt if that cleanup will clean 5%. How can the old voter ID card become a requirement for the new one? Nana Hesi Ojiri sends that one in. Yanko Yenimuna Kwamina Duncan Embrem. Kwamina Pajobrim.
Yo, Chairman General, and I pay. Michelle, wait here from Pim, and can't fin from Mantomofu.
Yes, yeah, that's it.
Na, music and pose on for quick dismissal. Cook figures or subjecting them of the coverage to strict proof. Come
on.
This can only be belied by a desire for an Armageddon out of COVID-19.
Hey, Fantina, I can't do.
See, from the word go, no, you want pie ball. The mayor about to try way about my name. Maka,
I can't pay Mr. Mancadam.
Na can't remember. Na my choice since as a mature Sunday, what general secretary. Also, my yara, yerba was a waba or man pain and more routine or yaza. Na or pair was a year. I bet 2 years with me or tell the room. One deputy national communications. I said, they rather say. As to can't kind as for dinner, my ya. It's COVID-19 or Abbey, your Bosha Quamba for that mobile registration. And see. Abra wonya kutupa de young farmers to bring a crowd to a standstill. Ya bida. Even as student, we brought the Minister of Finance, Minister of Education to a standstill. No way Antigua Enkosife no show in Guasoya Roho. Nechi won a dado on COVID-19. I walk about what you know I will too. Nti kwame ye be obai o man pain na hukaka na ban and the more way to, I'm all over the place, all over. That's it. The whole day. O man paying kuna wa fada. Wa share abo mine and mumba ho ban. And the more way to two so yerbe it all over the place. World Health Organization Nangasangasa. I pay my account. No, amazing leadership by this president. Now, Aisha Siroribe, reported 2 confirmed cases, 12th March. G Yako 6, Niako ha. He was massage figures. He was the wash as a community or spread, horizontal spread into massage album. Well and good. And akaya da Noguchi, akaya da KCCR, da warrior, on mama testing results non bantam. Chi, what to me, what clear backlog, or shall sort prima. No man, I'll go see. Why didn't some? Why put to cry? I had a touch of him, which I why job man paying some. Also, okay, yeah, lockdown, okay, yeah, lifting of lockdown, okay, lifting. Nature people they do every step of the way. There's a certain desire in their heart. The you bring your baby. Na recoveries. Yes, I say, hey, one recover. No, what shall I say all back a cancra? You mean charge and what will be in their nomesa when you go treatment centers. Over a number of days, what share was what they when you walk on? Honor the man also said, what's our posa? What's our boom boom? Safiga Sano Cosso there, on what you do? No way, Jado, why can't I watch in some?
About figures, you mean the
confirmed cases?
Confirmed cases, or Cosso?
Cosso there, hallelujah. Why didn't some? No more Yamina dum. And why when you walk around, well, it won't. I don't think me. I am one duma. What's up, Paul? What's up, Paul? Now, what about to go on one in two? Nanta, one power in the body or the Uga. Or the Wokoda, what's your benum?
What's the analysis of the figures?
Analysis on him, Mana. Why under there?
What is your figures?
That is why I tell you that this can only be belied by a desire to see an Armageddon out of this COVID-19. Oh, Suda.
Nobody would want to.
How? Kwame, you put 2 and 2 together. Kwame, may I die 2 and 2. Shame Pana, but body the same now the year, put 2 and 2 together. And see, on the I can see how the integrity of the Director General and these wonderful health professionals. And for me, it is an indictment on the entire Ghana health system, Ghana health service, that these people are seeking to impugn their integrity. Though figures been what about 2 hours and they did that some time ago. See, Kwame, these are persons who have not given a second thought to their life because that's what they have been trained to do. They are film or them kwanji baba. No one could do day and night. But I listen to some of these professors as Noguchi. As we work 24 hours round the clock.
Yeah.
While you do my chada, purple pay.
They are threatening to put their tools down because they are overstretched.
Because it is very discouraging.
Yeah.
Discouraging.
And they're not getting the money.
Yes. Money.
No, that issue has been resolved.
Money is over here.
Mr. Martin Mercato, the wire is off. And Cheshire Gabriel, and Cherry Silla to him, Martin. Yeah, point out.
That's right. Kwame, very, very discouraging. There, even persons like aides to the former president, former members of parliament, a party positions and holding the justice Yabua, Nanika, what are comments of this nature? But then the American, Missy, Mowa Kumamua dreaming day. In COVID-19, near Wabo, my me, or the Oyende, Kasibaba, no today, yes, for an eye, so no, I can yo, Fabose, oh, see that. And to that one dismissed. Owner's point. And
my dear Kwesi Prata, I'll say Joyce Bauer has a valid point. Intimate, we shouldn't just run her down.
Your opinion, now if I want one or then get our valid point. Well, I'll have it. Who bring us an home call. You better get away, bring it. And I don't call.
Kwame out here,
Kwame, NDC accuses EC stroke NIA of conniving to rig elections for MPP. See, the leadership, this particular leadership of the NDC, has lost the plot.
Which plot?
Oh, Kwame. If I were the chairman, if I were the general secretary, I would be worried about the image, the corporate image of this party. The General Rawlins's revolution to 1979, PNDC 81, and then the consequent formation of the NDC. When you're on my pain, or tell God, or Quakoto, you may have that more mind, or you didn't hear your kabum, the Wazi Kwame, the young folk Kwambido, Nayanya Adamadi. And this is the person they have elected to want to come back to the Ghanaian people. They must be worried. They must be disturbed. See, Kwame, in the very, very, very unlikely event, they are to Abba. Emma Peguma Bonsame Fefre. Emma President Jomama Waba. Kwame, what to work at Obi a corrupter. Because if I see him, I see Airbus. I cannot see how, even in national politics, how he could command the moral grounds, let alone in the international circle, sir. Says, yeah, remember Fabiara, but former president, new image. And you know what has been attributed to him? That he's associated with a network, a corrupt network.
Oh no, what does he have to do with NDC accusation?
This is a leadership that has lost the plot. See, why you want demonstration I want to do? Obi Batan there. We are going to deploy all available options at our disposal. One of which is going to court. And now why court? Come in there and this is court.
What about some though?
Well, you see, no registration in no court.
No court.
I say you don't know.
They've taken to court a law which has not come into being.
Apart from that, they are seeking the.
What are you suggesting? We're a classic case of premature ejaculation. I don't want to believe what you are saying.
How can you say that?
The amendment to the CI 91. It is out of court.
No, but
and was the interpretation of Article 45 or so.
Well,
that
maybe,
the EC
maybe one needs the records now without court minister because I don't get the point.
Kwame, the
preemptive strike.
Yes. I think that's the word I've heard that they are using. It's a preemptive strike.
Preemptive, not premature anything. Okay.
It's something
premature.
I didn't win. If you cry, I didn't know.
Oh yeah.
I think use preemptive strike.
That's better. Bombay.
I hear you.
And the man Moshana and the Wabo Chair President, Mr. Correct one. Oh, these are the guys. 5 years ago.
Yeah, man.
Maybe more democracy will be able to. Your names are written in the letters of good. No effect. That's right. Kwame
na.
So a interlude I've been with see was I about one boy.
I can't remember my punches.
Interlude. I don't know. Interlude.
I will intro the tutorial host.
And I'm Pudus.
Make yourself a poodle. Camera. Declare yourself a poodle.
Maybe I'm going out here to receive sympathies.
Kwame.
It's a must move court. If we are focused, all you do is just keep quiet. That this matter, we are no longer going to speak on this matter. Sunday, I call. I'm bringing him. Now, for some powerful, Kajina Hobers and Daniel say, Numini. Some more there by that. Oh, yeah, at 750. The National Identification Registration, the Bobo Fum, at the Babati. Now, Section 8. Documentation and a document Ghana you require to be able to get registered. Voter identity card, driver's license, passport, baptismal certificate. That Kufuado Oba Bim Wakaya amendment of Act 715 by the passage of the National Identity Register, Amendment Act 2017, Act 950. Emma we exclude voter ID card. We exclude driver's license. So this is the basis for the regime. 2014. Abu Ramadan no Kubia can walk court.
What director of elections?
Evans, so if you meet you.
I don't know. Me chiribakura kakraba. Kwame. Wakrama Otembwenyi payin Mami Georgina Chodora Mensa Wood and
Bojo Mensa nyimo.
Chodora Wood. Oh,
Georgina Chodora.
Oye nu anuma ni a woka no obu ade. Oye NHIS card. Oye da obia wo mayim otumije odehwe no ho. Enti onye da ma constitution no chede Ghanaian
proof of citizenship.
That's what's there. To register Ghanaians 18 and above. Ghanaians. And the session Kasabia 2016. Abra what the secret that now you must clean the register because the Supreme Court has ruled the NHIS on Yejuma. But the way JSC not true ruling. I say, every citizen, or if you go to page 6 of his ruling, every citizen of Ghana of 18 years of age or above and of sound mind has the right to vote and is entitled to be registered as a voter for the purpose of public elections and referenda. Then he elaborates further. I say, the above words, these are by the way JSC's words. The above words are free from any disputation as to their true meaning, which means that all of us, ordinary, without legal education, all of that, these are words without disputation. As to their true meaning, the corollary of which is that persons who are not Ghanaians, though resident in the jurisdiction, do not qualify to be registered as voters, and that any such registration violates the 1992 Constitution. So stated, it appears that the plaintiffs in taking out the action herein have been driven by a desire to resist the inclusion of non-Ghanaians on the register of voters contrary to Article 42 of the Constitution. The words of Badebwe JSC. No disputation. And that earlier the court has ruled that you cannot go and get registered onto our electoral roll using the NHIS card.
Supreme Court Aka.
Supreme Court Aka. If you were a party that respects the rule of law, Basa all over the place there. I electoral commission or by registration. And the onfa NHIS card onfa because it was born. The NHIS card was a breeder document. And out of that, people got their voter ID card.
Yeah.
It is a kid of being finding voter ID card from Kwa. Now what you are doing is that you are indeed in contempt of the court ruling. I tell you that this is a very disappointing leadership. The NDC leadership led by Mr. Fosampov is very, very disappointing.
Come on, come
Oh, I say,
man.
On the COVID-19 and election 20 now, well, my papi MPP hits back and says our records will so I don't. I mean, look, no ponko penta back.
Anya no ponko pe, maso ponko how do to.
Abe mrada, na chema be mi on tell you. Eh?
But am I ko ba na be more time.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, mama mo another 60 seconds be then.
Good. Why me up my phone, my dream ya boom. Kwame. Registration must happen. Now, the same Justice Badegbe on the issue of the discretionary power given to the EC by the 1992 Constitution. Kwame Makai, the Chiwa, a Chi, Sir Emma Trada, Moton, Makwaba. After Wood, JSC had ruled, and these were her words. I said, if the right to vote is important in participatory democracy, the right to register is even more fundamental and critical. Indeed, it is the golden key that opens the door to exercising the right to vote. The Chief Justice then is clear in her words. There, as for right to vote, no question about it. But even the key that opens that right is the right to be registered. Now go further. Justice Badegbe about what the EC and such constitutional bodies, what they are able to do or not able to do. Page 16 of his ruling. I say, the essence of I'll hang it.
Okay.
The essence of the jurisdiction conferred on us under the said articles is to enable us intervene in appropriate instances to declare and enforce the law regarding the extent and exercise of power by any person or authority. Although the said constitutional provisions have not used the word judicial review, the accumulative effect is to confer on us jurisdiction to declare what the law is and to give effect to it as an essential component of the rule of law. The nature of the court's obligation is to measure acts of the executive and legislative bodies to ensure compliance with the provisions of the Constitution. But the jurisdiction does not extend beyond declaration, enforcement of the Constitution, and where necessary giving directions on orders that may be necessary to give effect to its decision as contained in Article 2.2 of the Constitution. The court's original jurisdiction thus enables it to determine the limits of the exercise of the repository's powers. It is observed that in the exercise of the court's original jurisdiction, it is not permissible. These are very, very key. It is not permissible for the court to substitute its own decision for that of the body or persons exercising a discretion conferred on it by the Constitution. This is necessary to keep the court itself within the proper limits in order to give effect to the supremacy of the law, which appears to be the foundation of the original jurisdiction. The court's function is to set limits on the exercise of the discretion by the Constitution, which by the Constitution has been vested in an institution or body of persons, and the decision made within these boundaries cannot be impugned. We think the situation that confronts us in the matter herein may be likened to an appeal from the exercise of a discretion by trial courts. In said cases, the question for determination by the appellate court is whether the discretion was exercised properly, having regard to the available materials, and not to substitute the discretion of the appellate court for that of the trial judge, even though the justices may hold a different view on the discretion. So
Sasa says Kabila might just be right. I listened to Elvis Ifriye anchor on Newsfile last Saturday, and he mentioned the NDC is in court over the CI. Then, on the same platform, Dr. Dominic Ayeni, the chairperson of the Legal Committee of Parliament, said the CI has not. Is he the chairperson?
No, he is not.
But he's a member of the legal committee. Yeah.
It's chaired by the majority.
The majority, yes. So the CI has not been properly laid in Parliament. So logically, the NDC is in court over a yet to be laid CI. I just remembered my primary school head teacher's favorite saying, "Contra puntra," meaning "Kosi and kosi, koda and koda." Sasa, Takrade sends that one. Now, this one from Kofi Frimpong Manswada Kabrea Mwesari in Cove City says, why is the MPP bent on replacing a register that brought them to power? And why is the NDC bent on using the register which pushed them into opposition? Is there something in the register we both don't know? Maybe MPP and NDC should tell us. KSK, those of us in Takrady are observing the COVID-19 protocols, but the figures keep rising every day. My wife and myself shall not go out to register for election. No way.
No problem.
Election or without election, life still goes on. Jiwu2, Seth in Takrady. We, the MPP, do not have a problem if the NDC decides to boycott the upcoming registration and subsequently the election. They should not think that if the NDC is being referred to as the largest opposition party, it should go into their heads. They cannot superimpose or feel that is only their voice that matters. Nana Ikuya Mwabuating Ablekuma Central. And then let Kabila also know that if one decides to vouch for anybody to register as a Ghanaian, that person does so on oath. So could face prosecution in future if it turns out the person who registered has lied. The NDC should be told people without the required documents could register if there are people who have been registered to vouch for them. Nobody will be disenfranchised for not having those two documents. Yaofosweje Brode Kwano in Asante region. Kwame, let the NDC tell us the documents used to register for voters in 1992. Maybe that will help us understand whether the voter ID card is all that is necessary for the impending new register. Greetings to your panelists. This one has no name. It's rather unfortunate that some grown-up and known figures in the NDC who should have known better have made unnecessary comments. And when they were called out, they've been calling for war. Okay. Mahama Kenneth Kumasi. Chairman, it's true. It took me more than 10 minutes to be verified. My finger was rubbed several times at the polling station for district-level elections. It will not be orderly for the general elections with word register and biometric machine. Okay. Amecha in Kumasi. Let me just leave it there. Bullet from Takrady says, I guess tomorrow is the Dawadawa party. I'm on the first flight to Accra. Bullet, I'm surprised how I'd even forgotten. Nana Dollar in Pokuasi says, the MPP is rejecting the register that got them over 1 million votes. The NDC is accepting the register that kicked them out with over 1 million votes. Ghana Nye, I shock self. Nana Dollar in Pokuasi. What the Electoral Commission is trying to do is to disenfranchise most Ghanaians. Akilu Fantiakwa Begro. We read this one already from Farouk in Tema. Tell Kwamina Duncan is an example of the men we have. Intelligent, new voter register is a must. Abrantia Machi in Kumasi. And then Fawaz in Amasaman says, let's ponder this over this question. Why is the NDC afraid of a new voters register with improved security features? The answer is obvious. Fawaz in Amasaman. Tell my Honorable Central Regional Minister that Brofu is too much. He should flow with the local language. Leviticus powers in Kaswa. Regional Minister said, no, King can Supreme Court judgment. Or no, as it be Chimoe. I welcome Kabila to your Wednesday morning show. However, the absence of Alote is worrisome. Nana Riafe, well, maybe you didn't listen. Alote says he's taking a break. And we'll have to respect that break. We always try to put our institutions into disrepute. The body responsible for conducting the elections demands a new voters register. The NDC must not behave as if they have already accepted defeat whilst the election is yet to be conducted. Walanyo in Akwetia. This MPP government likes talking too much. Every day I will do not have a single day that they will say they haven't done it. Come to Takrady and see the pretty nurses flat at European Hospital. Started by the Mahama government, is still not completed. The question is, could this be love? Seth in Takrady. And then, must the NDC have their way always? They are doing that to your station. And they are doing it to Electoral Commission. Frank in Swam. The NDC should tell Ghanaians why we should vote for them and leave the Electoral Commission alone. Use your power, Kwame, as a benevolent dictator and restrict your panelists to speak only Chi. Gasti man in Brekum, that would be so tough, considering the fact that even you sent your message in English. We'll do a very nice balance as we go along. Why? It will help all of us. Professor Jekum. Because at the end of the day, you're not too sure how to go about it. Let me do this one quickly for those of you who would like to invest. What's the state of your financial health? If you feel you're losing your investment, your business needs support, Dauphin Finances will ease your financial burden with robust investments and deposit products. Whether you're seeking education, building your business, saving towards your retirement, Dauphin Finance has a plan for you. Plan investment products, fixed deposits, call account, and many more. Dauphin Finance can be reached on 0302 201 702. That is 0302 201 702 or 055 822 9858. 055 822 9858. Dauphin Finance is adjacent to Tesano Baptist Church, Tesano, on the Swam Circle Road. Dauphin Finance is your preferred finance house. Abdul Malik, Ipachobrim. Yeah, man.
What's in it?
I like that. What's in it?
Cooked figures are never the
Cooked figures or subjecting number of recoveries to strict proof.
Look, Chami Makadada Mighty
FM.
Ijama experts in enjoy. Experts in Ankasa why at times it differences be here and there. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It is citizens in the society there. Why not? Maybe they allow.
Yeah, allow ugly noises. Then your favorite phrase.
Yes, why not? Ugly noises are preferable to a culture of silence. It's a matter that we don't negotiate on. But Kwame, what are my alternative figures?
No.
In fact,
no.
Well, I'm actually be more so. Even setting up a technical team.
That's the COVID-19. And this is COVID-19.
Made up of experts. Nyadama. Ne experts in one for alternative figures and facts in mind. So that we can interrogate them in a more meaningful way.
Tongue in cheek. Cheeky.
Are you sure about that? I'm being sincere.
What do you mean?
Me, alternative facts and figures coming from experts, well-groomed experts. And make no mistake, some of them are very good experts, trained professionals and things. If you check the checklist, yes. In this whole cynicism or skepticism or casting doubt on figures and facts coming from official sources, you counter it with alternative ones. Then we can interrogate.
Ain't one my alternative figures?
Yeah, it's just express being cynical, just being skeptical, just doubting. I mean, you're extending that invitation to us that yes, you're enjoying the war, parade, where we all go and we are all doubting, we are all cynical, we are all skeptical. That's all. I think it's not worth it. It drags this whole process somewhere else. Meanwhile, you hear your collective efforts, understanding to be able to meet this challenge. Unprecedented, Kwame. We are an uncharted territory. That's where we are. Even this debate here, election timetable and Yemenia stands a certain challenge. It's facing a huge challenge. Into what they said that he better there. One more day, alternative facts and figures invite me. Then I can come and take part in the discussion. Otherwise, I'm sticking with the official records.
You have no reason to doubt or suspect it's cooked.
You give me contrary figures and facts, then you urge me
To repeat what you
Bongo there. So let's debate, let's interrogate, let's search. But debate, sorry, abasemini. Kwame, just because you want to be heard or seen to be talking, is that the idea? Then let's leave the experts to talk. And here, non-experts, here, shut up. It's all hydrogen. Anyway, now, there are problems. What's next? You see, the NIA will conspire to rig the elections.
Yeah.
That's another invitation to interrogate conspiracy theories. What my evidence be? What my evidence?
Me who be Adam, but what's what share Messia EC and Edumana?
Betty party chairman, Mama Yanko, Mr. Fosu and Pofo. Not too long ago, after was Sampa program. No, or site authorities are near find the credible organizations and personalities are. They appear to have made statements or reinforce NDC for statement. And he mentioned one name. Why me? I nearly fell off my bed.
Oh, are they?
I'm like Madame Panorama.
No, also credible.
Mr. Ahin.
Kodio. Kodio, former director of elections.
Yes. Ekai there, Mr. Ahin.
They
put his head on the block one time. They went to him. What's the one second? So Ekai the CD-ROM or CD-room. Ekai CD-room.
Okay.
I was a Ashanti region, Eastern region register and was bloated.
Yeah.
Jakai. My EC set up committee, Dr. Farajan. In the process, was one sack ahin because of a conspiracy to bloat the register to enhance MPP's stronghold. Now, maybe if the other man, a mayor, a Komia, I think it was ICT. Yes, they wanted him reassigned. If he, what I do, I can say, it's him, which one? Sisia, you've been purged of the allegation of conspiracy theory. You are not a very good man. Kwame. Yeah. Echo. This whole thing, they want answered. The NIA for case, you know. The NIA for crowd will reflect to it to know their response. And it occurred to me, though, my main call for answered. This is where the NIA response was a exclusion of the voter ID as Ghana card registration requirement was both unlawful and illegitimate. Apparently, this is an NDC claim. The NIA responded, this claim is most astonishing. The amendment of Section 8 of Act 750, that is 750, to exclude the voter ID card, driver's license and baptismal certificates as valid registration requirements was effected by Parliament in December 2017 without a whimper of opposition or protest from any member of Parliament. The exclusive reliance on birth certificates, valid passports, and certificates of acquired citizenship was supported by the NDC in Parliament. Indeed, the amendments received unqualified endorsement of the minority MPs in Parliament, and the MPs who spoke on the bill were mainly from the minority side, with each of them enthusiastically in support of the amendments. Well, I'm sure their response would be that only a fool doesn't change his mind.
But what are you reading from?
NIA full response.
I see. Professor Tifa Kaneyana.
Yes. This is dated 15th May 2020.
I see.
It's titled NIA Response to NDC Claims.
In the same program, the parliamentary party made a mistake.
Oh, okay. I missed that. I'm too full to die.
And the whole concept about
because the man met it. The man met it. No. Oh yeah, you know. Kwame. Yeah, and I mean, my can be wa. And I didn't cry me where the problem came from, except that we had the beer will concentrate here and where more registration or strongholds. Yes, sir. Ashanti region. Now where we call voter region, no, yeah, too good. And I if a voter region, we are the best of cooperation.
Yeah.
Hey. Would this mean beside? But can't the NIA still do things like mobbing up in Yama?
Yes,
their work is supposed to be
like that. After the 1 year mass registration, then they go to
do mop up.
Yes, so maybe there's too much noise also on that side. But yes, Kwame Obotimete. So there was one called Water region, one called Northern region, one called all the other regions, one called Mobaba, one called. I don't have a problem. The EC registration, it be my position very clear. Kwame.
Kwegu.
A system needs it, the technology needs it. Well, I hope procurement processes now still ongoing. Beside, I haven't double checked because I'm reading. I'm convinced beyond any reasonable doubt that Sawapeda will replace the biometric management system now. It's in order.
Documents are here.
Yes, I read some of them, and I'm clear. And those things began before Jin Mensah administration. I think when we read Biwahada.
Yeah.
Into what is beyond doubt, and I'm praying there. COVID-19 increased serious challenges to disable the procurement process. I haven't bothered to double check the status of that procurement as we speak.
Why? Was the
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, you are part of IPAC, so you know. But that is important. And it's true. There's a certain relationship between the register and the machine, the technology. It's true. But I'm also still convinced that say oba critical they into me a very massive re-registration, new register in the manner we want. The old register could be fine-tuned. And I say this because Matsi, the EC, was it the director of operations, Sobakaya, on News 5? He was on radio. He was in the studio. The name is it Dr. Kwaku?
Oh, that's the director of electoral services.
Dr. Kwaku?
Okay.
Sribo Kweku.
That's the name. I think he was on radio then, on telephone. And he considered that assuming, say, Nyaman call in the ideal way, it's still possible to find ways and means of fine-tuning the old register.
With great difficulty.
Yes, of course, but not an impossibility.
Sure.
So, if the regime
I'm sorry, I'm laughing a bit and distracting you, but somebody sent me an funny one. Also, Chairman General, when you hear Ojam says, quote unquote, Ma menyankwa, then you hear the knife choking him through. Don't be a friend of the diabolical Ojam. Hey, Mr. Diabolical Extraordinaire. Ma menyankwa through, then the knife is his.
American man. Into Kwame, for that possibility, it is not an impossibility. And this I say within the context that there's a regime of restrictions or a COVID-19 related. If the regime of restrictions are eased in a progressive manner, create greater space for us to do something else, that's another matter. But the situation remains the way it is. Namati, Yusuf's response, there were various safety protocols.
Yes.
Yes, all that comes in, but it still comes in a very Not an ideal way.
Oh, in normal times.
Exactly.
But Kweku,
Yes.
not to cut you short, forgive me.
No, please
EC has actually put out a procurement notice.
Okay.
Now, in the procurement notice, EC is asking, is inviting bids for people to supply reusable nose masks,
Oh, okay.
sterilized gloves, hand sanitizers, hand washing liquid soap, paper towels, Veronica buckets, thermometer guns, emulsion paint, so many other things. Ayerika CCCA, they put it out.
Okay.
So,
Kabila,
and from what I hear, they are in the process of acquiring PPEs as well.
Okay. They can even increase the number of polling where we do the registration centers rather. Yes, sir. CCA,
Over 32,000.
32,000 the last time they said they were
okay,
doing it.
look, this is creativity, a time for imagination, creativity, and Kwame mentioned.
Yeah.
But all that we should do it within the context there. Look, there's a regime of restrictions, COVID-19 related. Yet the man may compromise solution in there. As for the machines, yes, new ones critically needed. Voters register, no. I would not kill myself over it. I wouldn't mind going for a compromise in the balanced way. To be honest with you, that's the way my conscience dictates. But Kwame, bottom line, in terms of
you
the authority,
mind going for a compromise. Your compromise here is which one?
Oh, Jamaica. And that's why I reference when the director the director himself admitted this. He conceded if it was impossible, he shouldn't have made that concession on news file. He shouldn't, but he did so. I heard him loud and clear.
The validation?
No.
That was what he said.
Validation.
That if we could even go along with the old one, then what it would mean would be that all of us would have to go to the polling station
but it still entails the human contact is still
but
there.
Again, if we're going to do that, you still have the people there. Then why wouldn't you go for fresh
Conrad, you know what?
registration?
I'm an open-minded person on this matter, and I'm a realist too. I look at how the circumstances of the period, and I'm clear in my mind. There's a COVID-19 number. You hear me, and had always done that. I was for new voters register in its entirety. With COVID-19 restrictions, it disables us, Kakra. There's no doubt about that. We are challenged, hugely challenged. I want to be very realistic about that. If we are going to go about it the same old way, but whatever it is, and that's why I was going at.
Just to support you a bit. I think
Okay, quick one before you come with your support. I was asking questions, and the registration centers have been increased
already
to 33,367.
have been increased,
Yeah.
or they intend to increase.
No. Well,
Well, your old one or your old
the old one was 29,000.
29,100.
29,000 plus. So it will be increased to 33,367. This is to help reduce congestion.
That's right.
Yeah.
The human contact element.
So no, Kabila, you can come
No,
in
what
free.
the safety
Bring-
protocols.
Hey.
Bombay point now we're making. I was just saying something to support and reinforce something. Kwame, there is an attempt by some who support the idea of procuring a new BVMS and thus a new biometric voter register to discredit the register we presently have. It's not sustainable. Anything I may say, the register we have used since '92, none can compare in terms of credibility to what we had under the biometric system. Those who are for a new system to be measured in their supporting their claims by veering into an attempt to appear say the register we have it is discredited. It is not.
Okay.
Amplifying
Unim,
your earlier point
Kwame,
that
Kwame.
Baumia has
Yeah.
it was incredibly flawed.
Yeah, you should be careful about that.
No, we could debate that one.
Yeah,
Incredibly
of course.
flawed. We
No,
could debate it.
maybe.
Except that if I had brought on board, I would have lost
Yeah,
something.
it's good.
You'd have lost your balance. Yes, Kokrokoo.
92 elections, we used 88 register.
Yeah.
Yeah, district assembly.
level election.
So the time a new register they came from for the 96 elections.
That's right.
Yes. Okay. Now, Kwame,
Kokrokoo.
this point about registering or producing the present parliament and president in 1981. If a election architecture now, whilst the register is very important, very, very primary in all this matter, it is not the only point factor. The party vigilance, training of your party agents, the transmission of resource, the kind of technology, for instance, to use an example, the MPP, the kind of technological setup I want to put in place. You know, there's a party craft now, so when we declare, Kwame, what can they collation? Yeah, they were in comfortable lead, but they didn't have the figures.
The chairman now was the director of elections.
I hear you.
Kokrokoo, just to buttress your point about the Electoral Commission, what's the director of elections or as a Kotubo news file?
Yes.
Yes. Also, the other option. The other option.
Okay.
Is limited registration and validation of the old register, which will still involve human contact.
I agree.
But the Electoral Commission is primarily for a new voters register.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
Let me quickly add
I agree.
this.
That's what he said. But it means that option is there.
Yeah.
Except that the option will come with some modification, which makes sense because the registration of 18th now is compulsory. And then on your law, you can't take them out. I say, I remember last week we agreed here, and I made a point there. There will be a swallow because of. So I appreciate the point, but still, there's a fine line of extension between an entirely new register and validating the old register and doing some limited registration. There's a fine line of distinction.
It will amount to the same.
No, but the validation.
They'll still follow the COVID-19 protocols to achieve that because of the human contact.
Yes.
Yeah.
And see, I won't, like I said, I won't kill myself over it. I mean metaphorically, but that's the point.
But the validation would be done on a new system.
Yeah, the new one. And the whole incompatibility.
That's right.
With the
so what it means is that the validation that he's talking about, my understanding is that you are going to come, they will have the existing register as a way of proving, say, you are already on it. Then they will capture you biometric fingerprints and then the facial
so the old register, when you are coming for that validation, you come with your old voter's
ID card. That is why I find it inconsistent that you are trying to amend the CI 91.
We should open up our minds.
The voter ID card.
Yeah. So Kwame, a dispassionate, sincere interrogation may help us to arrive at a certain thing. But bottom line, Kwame.
Yeah.
It comes back to who has the final say.
Absolutely.
In all these things.
Who has the final say?
From 1994, when the IPAC was set up, Abisinde has been a consistent problem, challenge, and the EC has always taken this position. Now, Kwame, before my ending, I mean, read minutes B. Minutes is dated 12 June 2015, or a minutes of the Inter-Party Advisory Committee meeting.
12 June 2015.
Yes.
IPAC.
And there was this issue for the Electoral Reforms Committee was set up. I'm the IEA and the parties all.
I was a member of that committee.
Was set up what the report to be out. One of the recommendations was to the effect that we'll institutionalize the IPAC as part and parcel of the election architecture. And echo page 5, we read excerpts B, 3 form also, according to Dr. Farijan, there is the need for further discussion on the real meaning of institutionalization, quote unquote. He cautioned the parties to take note of the constitutional provision that stipulates that the commission is not subject to the direction or control of any person or body. He cautioned that we should be careful so that institutionalization of IPAC does not conflict with the major provisions which make the EC independent.
Okay.
The deputy chairman in charge of finance and administration, Ms. Georgina Opoku Amankwa, further explained that the legislating IPAC may become a fetter on the independence of the commission. She, however, stated that the reforms committee agreed there will be regular IPAC meetings at least once every other month to discuss issues of importance and get the necessary feedback after the commission has met. I mean, another one is important. Yeah? This commission, take the personalities out.
Yeah.
You are looking at the commission
as a corporate entity.
Corporate entity talking of its mandate.
Its independence and its mandate.
Yes. So I have comments on the institutionalization of IPAC. A member referred to point 18 of the reform proposals on the issue of the institutionalization of the IPAC and referred to an earlier comment by the chairman to the effect that its actions could violate the independent status of the EC. The chairman explained to him that he meant that IPAC meetings should be conducted in such a way that it does not conflict with the independence of the commission.
Mm-hmm.
He said that IPAC must not be institutionalized in a way that the parties will decide on the rules of conduct. The chairman explained further that those provisions were already contained in law and warned against any dictation by the political parties. There was a suggestion from a member relating,
warned against any dictation from political
my final
parties.
one. My own sweet, lovely, beautiful sister. Now, I think I've read this thing here before. This is the report of the panel.
Charlotte.
But who else?
VCRCA crab.
VCRC crab.
Is there
The
Shadow
late.
Charlotte somewhere?
No, I thought the new one too is your sister.
Oh, Jean.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
and all those words also
she's-
perfectly fit her.
She's very close friend. Oh yeah, Minyanko. Long standing.
Yeah.
Minim ne papa.
Yeah.
Yes. Papa. Yeah. Kwame.
Kwegu.
Commission panel enjoy commission a set up panel and up. Now that will meet forum. In some my sister kindly.
But your since it's an official document. Bonizin, you will
Madam, yes, I think you are right.
Yes.
You see, I'm being sentimental.
Yes.
Sentimental. But you are right.
Yeah.
For record purposes. And this is a public discussion.
Yeah.
Yes. So the chairperson.
I don't want to get a tutorial host.
No, but he's right. In terms of
come now, but don't punch me.
Professionalism. In terms of professionalism,
Right. He's
ethical
right.
behavior, Kwame is right, and it just showed that I had gone too sentimental.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry for that.
No, it's okay.
I said the findings and recommendations of the panel will be presented to the commission for final decision, which will be communicated to the public. The final decision on whether or not we will have a new register or audit the register will be taken by the EC in line with and on authority of our constitutional mandate. The debate on the register has, in our view, raised a critical and fundamental issue in the public domain. How should an independent government institution, such as the EC, the Electoral Commission, make decisions on important national issues? Should the decision be based merely on allegations or claims which have not been conclusively investigated? Should the EC take decisions based on demands by group or parties without taking all other requisite views into account? Should decisions by the EC be made on the basis of comments by eminent citizens of the land? It is the belief that following such a path may be setting a very dangerous trend for democratic stability in Ghana. Our view is that the EC must be guided by three principles: the rule of law, conscience, and national interest. The overwhelming interest of the nation, after listening to all parties and giving all parties a right to be heard, and conscience must guide the EC.
Rule of law, conscience, and national interest.
But
And the EC has a final say,
they are the final arbiters.
according to the Farijan document and the
Kwame,
Charlotte
they
Osei
said
document.
in 1994, Mikita minutes, IPAC minutes were June 26, 1995.
Hey,
The EC,
Wow, so
this argument went on then. Our Farijan said it. These are the documents. The NDC eventually, that's why I was intrigued when I heard of some people talking about, one war facilitating one man, even the opposition parties took part in the IPAC and Anyama. I heard him on Asampa saying that. If I may send a question to Obi, but too late when Bisan. The truth is that the NDC boycotted IPAC then.
They did?
And I have the minutes here. And Afarijan and the rest all made appeal. They want appeal to the ruling party to return to IPAC.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's here. If you like, I'll read it. It's here. It's dated June 25th, 26, 1995.
Why did they boycott?
Because they were having problems with the minority parties who were pushing for the new photo ID cards, for new transparent ballot boxes, the elections were in separately.
To 92 presidential separate.
They opposed it. They opposed the prescription by the minority parties, opposition parties. They were then not in parliament, of course. Those parties were not in parliament. Okay? The 1 year election, presidential and parliamentary elections the same day.
And they were opposed.
They opposed to it. It's all here. It's in this minutes I'm holding. They want. The papers no cry why yellow.
But honestly, that we need to go back to it. The period between parliamentary and presidential elections is too close. Yeah. That's why you are doing the same.
We remember we tried November.
Yeah, November then December.
Yes, but the MPP group in parliament were not enthusiastic about it. They went along it with at the reform committee. IPAC, BBR, last minute, Kwame.
They pulled out.
Through parliament now or drag will fit. And that thing, I criticized the MPP for that. They were the cause for that thing not materializing. Kwame, but minutes meaning June 26th, 1995. And paragraph 5.3. The chairman made a further call to the NDC representatives to return to the meeting. He expressed the EC's intention to find out what was preventing them from coming back to the meeting. They stopped. All the minutes are here. 1994 minutes, 1995 minutes. So when they are telling the story, they should remember they've been more institutional memory.
They should remember that some of us have institutional memory. Okay, let me go to some memories and comments and observations here, and then we'll wrap up very soon. But a certain gentleman keeps blasting me from Kumasi. As usual, I'm ignoring, but also a friend Kofi from Kumasi. Kofi, let me state for you why. I have not gotten NDC out of my show. The NDC says it will not show up. Pacho, let's contextualize it very well. I'm Pacho
Kwame.
Remember,
let me appoint me who a consultant for renegotiation. Because I'm being honest with you. I'm not comfortable.
Are you sure they will trust you?
Good question. Kofi, you've written a lot, but out of respect to you, I will not read them. Why? I'm better then. And just when you're free highway.
No, but Kwame is wrong.
We must find a way of building.
Well, I guess a platform can to them. Kwame, what the room? Change of a government. Mosia Manfuba progressive this platform assisting parties cause na about to bill na warangasa a political party decided that number no is that what you are expecting me to do?
No, you are entitled to.
Oh yeah, mama, papa. Oh yeah, mom.
But I mean, feel comfortable.
I don't feel everything. Feel.
To be honest, let's find a way of getting them back.
Oh, don't let them pamper people. Pamper people. Hey,
but
I'm telling you, Minister.
I mean,
say as they say, you and I were here. As they say, you and I were here.
Yes.
And they opted out. So you and I are here.
Yeah, so
if they want to opt in,
make moves too.
No, they should make the move.
Meeting poodle with them at Mantaso.
Let her
You ain't got your shit that appropriate.
Gabi no come for put buy first.
The food you know what you mean
I mean, me suspect me producers.
Apparently, what's I'm wrong?
I
was wrong in my analysis. Yes. Retraction.
Some pine says, don't mind Bombay. If they won't come, can't worry. Some pine.
My retraction was in reference to Alote, not.
Anio Sabute, good morning. Kwame na yampone.
Yo. Kwame, we na Sierra. Na Mbubumin Eko say the MPP hits back and says our records will win as polls. Kwame, Monko Nkwechipi. The yeah senior school free. Ne twa teacher training allowance him. Ne twa nursing training allowance him. Na NHIS a car bubum home yentum tua ne ye higher school secondary school and senior school yen free o. Kwame yamfa one district one factory by. And so eventually my ide the sika samnon to tray ye hwano my kama IMF. Kwame the man na 2012 2013 2014 15 16 oyena oman ye kwem oyede njuma ogui na mo akebe say de kanyina by 24 hours by 48 hours bikwa 72 hours na kanyina mbay Ada NDC President Mamadi Jaomai Kwame Sir hello Chenya na hello sunaniasm in Simon Kompo, I'm not going to that area to recall Kufuadu by my wire financial crisis are coming. The one with him the banks are when you na papa do another when you na fapim papa do na Kwame was sense kadema ho na was stress kadema ho na wa nuanom so afa ho akaje bosa banks that were on the precipice for collapse cry obi papa bi kana say wa collapse Kufuado abegina ho egina ne nado kakankra hyehyehye Sadamadin say Omampina Kufuado ntu no one na mo and he has received a lot of plaudits from IMF, from World Bank, from all the banks. All your managing directors are what Babmana Bado there. Sadamana Montuna and Bar. And you're calling me to ask a cry, and in fact, maybe I wasn't to yet. Only now I'm coming from to Monfontaine Chain. Namambra. You're about to try my number 2. When you have crisis, that is when you see your capacity to manage and to get out of the crisis. And that is why you can call yourself Oga. Albra Samatu, Abba. Now, when all things are rosy, your leadership, your capacity has not been called to question. No, Shimbe. Albra Samaban, Niyu. Come Obai. We are the Afanda Nina, Chinyabi, COVID-19 ni effect was it summon to trade o osana trade onu na binum wode ho import baba metu akwa kaje ho to na da bra aye wo budget ni na wo revenue target ni na borders closed, airports closed, you have been cut from the rest of the world. Hospitality industry virtually on the knees. And yet, this critical time,
In human demand, they virtually constitute about 92% of the economy. Nina, quite time.
In terms of the airport.
That's right. It's on paying the in nature into Ottawa or Siban Manabo. For a start, on my money na yambu insu free. Obia Samson, Ribuda Gwer, Ribuda Toade, Ribuda Yedbine, my president Sunigan, Bob Wat, Mawan leadership. At the Kosa, Munia the Bobra, ye more ye, kind of some. It's no so. Sir, in can say to oya or ha, mana, eto, sido ha. On my payse. Mo what summer mo what za order me yama the bois or man the numba into say trusted or ha a man casa a ban margin musido donum Mazamodama Busume Basa Aspitin painful and that's a four and that's a four. Oh, what you do my wapra when a toa it may be a bosumuswa otia a two on our mind yet a bobra. Obia sabosomuswa wa kotua etodado o ma pese dwuma na amudi nti me yituni na ma twro ni na efiro ebi ozo bi gana na ye da me yituna keke nanso wa kotua nso mrebu kwam mewe so
kwam mewe maso me
kotua nso mebu mebe na me de kon asie senyim ko na fa me da mo na kwame wa ye ni na Trevor Sanson, neither so that book. Oh, in Juma, if a yimpa of your coat to a noon, down in here, Rebecca saw Kosi Yankee Aye. On no opinion that National Board for Small Scale Industries, NBSSI. Exactly. On my pain now, Baba. Yeah, shudder, Mawabe. I want you that, but Numa. Na ya try at the answer she had them for my try. What's the on my sika or pepe a hesia 600 million. Banks are what by you so I put down 140 or pepe a had 400 million. It can say him or pepe pay a quote 1 billion. You're busher near Dabwa. A bay a guvuado. Say I shall my hana. Kokrokoo yazeba mau ekuvuade sagana fu yaza ya mahena Kokrokoo yazeba mau ekuvuade Kokrokoo yazeba mau kana fu yaniri Kokrokoo yazeba mau abai papa
Kwame na
Kwame ya mo we chi ndo so na minje na mo share show time na kabira na
Koku dem ya show the we wie
okay
ba man ka da me funny time ma bi go nyi time bi abi wa nyi time ma me fa the last few minutes ma kabila ne enko Kwabra mi tie yempo yes Kwabra
ya wo Ramadan mu na ya ba wie nti
I say this weekend the baby
ai me conclude no me pese me de Surah An-Nisa 4 verse 79 asembi ho Kwame o say whatever fortune comes your way, oh man, it is from Allah. Whatever misfortune befalls you, man, it is from you. Challenge the air course we nyina fa kese na free yan kasa the way you see ye niema bi. Minim but mesre. Problem no fa kese pa free say. Ye pese ye di easy adwuma no. E di foreign NIA adwuma. They are different. They are not the same. Or mandate they are different. Na maya nyase easy adwuma no must be dependent on what NIA does. If it's an NIA mandate, no, so we compile a national database, no. It is not necessarily for just electoral commission purposes and as election purposes. And NIA Jumanu onye I have had issues with the fact say the NIA is registering people or Ghanaians from age 15. And the master NIA boss Wajumanko Isi Jumanko Isi NIA Jumanko. Stop tying your mandate and your work to that of the NIA.
Yes, Obianyana
Juma because you see Vice President Baumia went somewhere in the Volta region. Kokrokoo said, No, please. On this, you see, these are some of the things that fully conspiracy. Sir, NIA card, was going to be a determinant to enter the electoral poll. And I said, register.
He said eventually we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there, but we haven't gotten there. So when there is an amendment of the CI, I want CI 91, regulations, regulation 3. Not say, NIA card, any passport on Ghana afford to draw no Libya. You are feeding into a certain conspiracy theory.
But these are not the only requisite.
The third one is increasing the guarantee, the guarantors from say they can guarantee
for 10.
For 10. And I'm say it gives room for arbitrary and abuse. Come intimidate. That is but Chairman Mr. Me pese mi timu bi o maka earlier. From your records I wo Ghana. Obi biara ni hono a say yeti dan we ya to aba between me ne Kwamna Duncan. Na say Kwamna Duncan a bitimi a. Chairman General, who betimi aka say who change the decision and I say the outcome of one more eto aba no.
Impossible.
Impossible. Impossible. Enye ye. And adansidie da hope fe na de nwanwan say despite consistent attacks from both NDC and MPP on Dr. Farijan, or declare candidates of these two parties as elected presidents of the Republic of Ghana.
Yeah.
Not once, not twice, a number of ways. Now, I am not suggesting that the Electoral Commission is not it's not with our fault, and that's all we from swap. Adansidie da hope fe na we nyina ni. They add in pronouncing Rebecca Dote MP elected in 96.
Didn't they postpone the whole district assembly election?
Yes.
With a huge cost.
Yes. The court decided, and the EC had to comply. Isaac Amo, who had been duly elected in 1996, couldn't go to the parliament because judgment by just at the the end of the tenure. Or the
about 4 weeks.
General.
Where's the pen, please?
Mr. Now, I know that me person me DVA say the idea say ye koso for brainy brand on ye register ye update so na de no reform committee ye discuss here na edi ho komo no asama ye kan na person me DVA say going forward se nyame ya dom na etimi nya a new system. Na system no ye man ye timu ye hweso ye ye maintenance, regular maintenance. Na ya anya mana manwe ne se te se de wo hoi ye gumwa SCL for Troya from 2014. We didn't do what we had to do. Ye ni ya mesre nyame ya domo a breni brano esese ye do stage a Ghana ni obedi mfie du wotwe enya se ye beye nipa dodo nhia mu biom but odi mfie du wotwe pe ne 18th birthday na ya ton sa frɛ no electoral commission anaso ono ankasa kɔ electoral commission ahweye wakɔgye adansidie krata eche se obetumi ayeden
political parties you are saying that you are not in a position to get to agents at all the offices of the electoral commission.
Who said that?
Yeah, I'm not a simple Kokrokoo kind of man.
No. But decisions, it has been discussed. So there was a time I know we continuous registration. They were on my report after a week, any day. So it's something that has been done. The mechanism say, if we are able to do that, you better preempt, and I said we will avoid this tendency. mass registration from time to time. It was discussed, and the EC I accepted that recommendation from the reform committee. Challenge anti-masre. Nama can say Oman Yibe you, enye you, if you are Kasa Yebra. Now,
Mate,
say, yes, you wouldn't now a day.
Why now?
MPP4 can send the brave for Charlotte Seho. Yo, me, I mean, 2016, it was the same Charlotte Seho who had been attacked by all means, who declared President Nana Danko Akufo-Addo as President of the Republic of Ghana. Yeah, can't wait their chair NDC for say. One can say foot from Modema, MPP4 in 2015, committee, and I make idea. Now, make MPP are now the NDC Ashawamami. If the MPP this time put NDC there, is desirous of finding an antidote to the string of poor showings at the polls, then it can be found in a sober reflection on how to pull that party from the brink and halt its rapid descent into chaos and internecine fluid. They must select a viable presidential candidate. Now they've already done that, so they don't have a vice president. Craft a convincing message and build a strong, cohesive party machinery to prosecute a credible campaign. The present state of affairs in that party, where confusion, mistrust, and incessant squabbles reign supreme, cannot be masked by baseless fault-finding of all sorts engaged by their propagandists.
Acting General Secretary question.
Is it about our party?
Yes. Are we running presidential elections?
Well, that will be decided by the appropriate organs of the party.
What are your recommendations here,
But
from the secretariat,
you know where I stand.
Yes, from the secretariat, I will make a strong recommendation that we do it. Where you stand, and you know I've been with you for a very long time until recent. You can't go to war without a general.
A general who doesn't have any.
Let's leave it there. A general with no troops.
Let's go and talk about it.
The dictatorial host has advised me to be careful of what I say.
You mean a general without troops?
I wonder if you can.
Your conduct will be brought to the secretariat and submit to the secretariat.
I just heard you. Why am I that? When I decided to pull out from the front lines. What I mean, Indum, Freddie Blake,
but only a history.
What do you call?
And history is repeating. But Kabila,
and we were found guilty.
Yes.
I'll say after spending so many years at Kevas in the central region, you can't come and sit on Kokrokoo and not speak pure Fanti. It's abominable. Abeku Sika says so. Now, Kwamina, Obiso say instead of AOB, no, that's any other business. We should name it AJS. AJS, Alote Jacob segment. At least for his contribution to the show. Nana Intashi.
And indeed.
This one with no name says, KSK, it is easy for you to say that we were all here when the NDC decided to opt out. When you are a referee to a game or program and one side continuously tells you certain actions and inactions inure negatively to them, your response should not be, we were all here when it happened. You have to look into it and make sure both sides are fairly satisfied. Fairness must be done and seen to be done. Unfortunately, this one has no name, but it's from somewhere in the US.
Consultant, my appointment who consultant for renegotiation.
Kabila said, do you think you'll be trusted? That is one thing.
That is the deficit element.
In the meantime, Akwesman, good morning. You're listening to us live. You say you are in Tamale this morning, and I'm sure Tamale, why not your Fila FM? It probably is on Fila FM in Tamale. So good morning, Akwesman on Budapest and all the guys there. Kofi Adabo is listening to us in Cape Coast. I suspect it's Eagle FM in Cape Coast. Good morning to you, Anio Sabute. You are listening to us somewhere in the capital, so I'm sure you're listening to Peace FM.
Peace FM.
Out on this morning's edition, Kofi Kombilson is next on your radio. And of course, you know the next news broadcast is at 12. Good morning, Mr. Ben Usu Crawley. Awam. When you stop to say a prayer, I beg you say one for me too. It's a tough world out there. God bless. Good morning.